So you're dealing with a challenge, a problem, or an obstacle that is so monumental that you just don't know what to do next. You're stuck. And the last thing you need is some self-help guru or some coach telling you to be more positive, look on the bright side, snap out of it. Maybe you don't need that, but what if I could give you 3 simple things that you could do right here, right now, to change your state so you can get back into being more, doing more, and having more. Is that a deal? Now, it's not going to take me long to tell you all of this, but if you haven't got that much time to spend to find a solution, then I do sincerely hope you do find yourself a solution to that overwhelm. Okay, let's get into it. First, I want to tell you why this is happening to you, and then I'm going to tell you what you can do about it. My name's Anthony Charles, and whether you are already running a business or dreaming of leaving that 9 to 5, I want to help you to turn your skills and your ideas into real money by growing your impact, your influence, and your income. It's time to be more, it's time to do more, it's time to have more, and I'm here to guide you every step of the way. So let's get into it. Why do you feel this way? Why do you feel overwhelmed when you're facing a challenge? And it's simply this: the challenge or the problem that you're facing is bigger than your perceived capacity to solve it. So when you're looking at it and you're facing this thing, you cannot see a way out. You cannot see how you're going to deal with this, how you're going to overcome it. So all of a sudden you feel completely overwhelmed. It's not just a limiting belief. And that's why I said at the beginning, you don't need some coach or somebody saying to you, be positive, think positive, do some self-talk. It's not just down to limiting beliefs. It's deeper than that. It comes down to who you are, your very identity. And your identity, believe it or not, is more powerful than your beliefs itself. And let me show you how powerful your identity is. First, let's talk about how you make decisions. I want to ask you a couple of questions. What's your favorite food? Just go with me on this. What's your favorite food? And I don't want a whole string of it. Just give me one. Mine's pasta. So what's your favorite food? Right. Are you going to have that favorite food today? Are you going to have that favorite food tomorrow? What about next week? What about next month? Now, I don't know what your answers are, but whether you're having it today, tomorrow, next week, can we agree that you are open at some point to having that favorite food? Just like me. I don't know if I'm going to have pasta today, but at some point in the future, I'm going to be having pasta. Okay. What about your least favorite food? Something you dislike, something you hate. Mine's Marmite. I know I've lost some of my audience right now, but oh my goodness me. I don't know. Let's not get into Marmite right now. I don't like Marmite. What do you not like? Tell me a food that you don't like. Okay. Are you going to have it today? What about tomorrow? Next week? Next month? What about some point in the future? Can we just say that at some point you might have it? No? Okay. Can you see how different things are? The food that you liked, even though you may not have been sure, you might be having it today or tomorrow, but if you weren't sure, you were open at some point to having it in the future. The food that you didn't like, you were absolutely definitely sure. Do you see how powerful what you don't like is? And just as an off topic for a second, whenever I'm helping people to work through their goals and they're not sure what they want to do, sometimes I say, look, start with what you don't want because you're very definite about those things. Let's get back to the topic. What has your foods got to do with your identity? Food that you like, food that you dislike. What's it got to do with your identity? Let me ask you a couple more questions. Would you like some meat? And when we're talking about meat, would you like some pork? Would you like some alcohol? Would you like some sweets? Would you like a cigarette? Would you like to do some public speaking? Would you like to do some selling? Now, depends on who you are, what you do, you would have given me different answers to those questions. Let's just talk about the things that you said no to. So, for instance, if I said to you, do you want meat? And you said no. A lot of times we associate the things we don't like with who we are. So, for instance, somebody may say, no, I wouldn't like any meat because I'm a vegan or I'm a vegetarian. Let's take me, for instance. I don't smoke. I've never smoked. So if somebody says to me, would you like a cigarette? I don't say, oh, what brand have you got? Just wondering what brand. No, it's no. And sometimes I've even followed it up by saying, no, I don't smoke. What about a diabetic, for instance? They may say, no, I don't have sweets because I'm a diabetic. And it's not just down to food. Let's talk about some of the other questions I said. Would you like to do some public speaking? If you're a public speaker, you may say yes. But if it's something you said no to, a lot of people say, well, I'm not good at speaking. I'm not good at public speaking. I don't like selling. I'm not great at it. We associate so much of what we do with the decisions we make. The decisions become our identities. And if you don't believe your decisions become your identity, look at some human beings. Two topics, politics and religion. Tell me if those beliefs and those decisions do not become identities. Okay, can you see how powerful your identity is? How you see yourself? And our beliefs become our identities. Can you see that now? And that's the reason why I wanted to show you how powerful your identity is, because the things that we believe, the decisions that we make, they actually become us. And we've got a natural force inside of us that is pulling us towards the definition we have of ourselves. Think about that for a minute, because it doesn't matter what you do, you will always gravitate, you will always move towards becoming the person you define yourself as. And that's really important to know. It's who you think you are. It's how you see yourself. Let me give you an experience that I had just recently. Just before Christmas, I'd launched this channel and I was happily recording my videos. I normally record on the schedule of record on Tuesday, edit on Thursday, and the video goes out next week, Wednesday. Sometimes when I'm running late, like today, I'm going to record today. It's Tuesday. I'm going to edit today and it's going to go out tomorrow. But most of the time, I'm slightly a week ahead. When Christmas was coming, I didn't want to record in the Christmas week. I didn't want to take over this room, and I didn't want to record in the New Year's week. So I started recording well in advance. And at some point in December, I was working on a video that was going to be going out in January. I can't explain what happened to me. All of a sudden, I had never been so far ahead with all of my videos, uploading them into YouTube and having them sit there waiting for days, if not weeks. I was working on a video one day and I had a overwhelming feeling. I just felt as if I was in no man's land. I was so far ahead, I wasn't comfortable. It felt weird. And I felt myself mentally wanting to get back into a place where I was more comfortable. It was the strangest thing. I'd never been there before, so I never experienced it before. It's a little bit like the Parkinson's law, but just in a different way. You know Parkinson's law, where it says the work that you have will always extend to fill the time allotted for its completion. And that means if you've got a task and the task, you give yourself an hour to get this task done, it will take you an hour to do it. If it's the same task and you give yourself a week, it will take you a week to do it. Looking at myself, it was my comfort zone. I was way out of my comfort zone and it was something I wasn't used to. And could you see how I had to get a hold of myself? Because I'm thinking, no, this is a good place to be. I was uncomfortable being ahead. We identify with our comfort zone, and the comfort zone isn't a physical place. I know a lot of time I talk about your comfort zone. It's a place where you're going to go to, and I describe it and say that you're here, you've got your comfort zone, then outside you've got the discomfort zone or the uncomfortable zone, and just beyond the discomfort zone is the things that you want to be, the things you want to do, the things you want to have. The comfort zone is not a physical place. It's a place that resides inside of us. And when you're met with a problem, when you're met with an obstacle, when you're met with a challenge that is bigger than your beliefs about yourself, that's bigger than your identity, then you become overwhelmed, become stressed, you become stuck, and you become depressed. So that's the reason why you're feeling the way you're feeling. But what are we going to do about it? We've got these three things, and I'm going to give you these three things. And if you do them now, today, you will change your state and you can get back to being more, to having more, and to doing more. So the first thing that you've got to do is, I try to say first and third at the same time. The first thing you can do is to change your focus. That's what you've got to do first. And what I mean by changing your focus, you don't experience life, you experience the life you focus on. I'm going to say that again. You don't experience life, you experience the life you focus on. Let me give you an example. Two boys are in a room, and they take these two boys, they put them in this room, big room, and they fill the room wall to wall with horse manure. It stinks in there. They put the two boys in there. One boy immediately sits on the floor, covers his eyes, and starts crying and crying and crying. The other boy is running up and down, and he is falling over in the horse manure. He's getting up, he's running up and down, and they're looking at these two boys. They go to the first one and they say, "What's the matter? Why are you crying?" "Oh, it's too much horse poo in here. It stinks, it smells, I don't like it. It's really dirty in here." They go to the other boy and they say, "Why are you running around? Why are you so excited to be in this room?" He says, "With so much horse poo around, there must be a pony in here somewhere." Can you see? You don't experience life, you experience the life you focus on. And the good, the bad is out there. The right, the wrong is out there. It's all available, but we get to choose what we focus on. And have you ever felt something that you were worried about, and you really focused on this thing that you were worried about? You got sick to your stomach about it, and then it never happened. How many times have you done that? You see, your energy flows where your focus goes. And it's really important to know that, because a lot of time, us coaches, we teach all these acronyms, fancy acronyms like stay focused. And there's an acronym for focus. Follow one course until successful. FOCUS, follow one course until successful. And people come to our workshops, our seminars, our webinars, and we tell them that, yes, coach, I'm going to follow one course until successful. What if it's the wrong course you're on? Remember the video when I was teaching you, telling you about my daughter, and she was riding on her bike, and I was telling you about her focus and how she had to change the focus so that she didn't crash? Yeah, you could be following one course until successful. What if it's the wrong course you're on? To change your focus, sometimes you have to physically change. It's not just a matter of changing what you're thinking of in your mind, the focus you're having, or just turning your head like that. You've got to physically change. You've got to physically do something different. If you're not feeling great right now, and you're on this video because you're not feeling great, and you want to do these 3 things, pause right now, because I'm going to tell you what to do, and you can pause. I will be right here when you get back, but do this right now. You may have to run, you may have to jump, you may have to hop, you may have to skip, you may have to dance. Put some music on and change your state. Change your focus by moving your body, physically moving your body. Pause and do it now. I'm going to be right here when you get back, and then we'll get on to number 2. Okay, number 2 is to change your language. Change your self-talk. That self-talk links up to the mindset. And I say all the time, you're going to win and lose every challenge that you have in your mind first. Let's talk about changing that self-talk. Let's talk about changing the things that you are saying to yourself, that language you're using. The words that you choose, they create meaning, and that meaning creates emotion. And your entire life is based on where you live emotionally. And that's compounded by what you focus on. For years, I was struggling with feeling alone. I was surrounded by so many people, friends and families, but I was feeling so alone. And I had to take stock of where I was emotionally. I had to take stock of what I was focusing on. I remember looking at the late Robin Williams, and he was one of my favorite actors, and I couldn't get my head around it. I don't know why he decided to do what he did, because in my opinion, when it comes down to dying, we're in the game of life. We don't get out of this one alive. We are going to all die. And I don't know what he was going through, but for whatever it was too much for him to stay here. He had fame, he had family, he had so much, but it wasn't enough to keep him here. He took I don't know what the challenge was, but he took a permanent solution to what must have been a temporary challenge. I don't know. Whatever it was, it made me think, and I had to work hard to change my focus. I had to really work hard to change where I lived emotionally so that I can have a different outlook, because your thoughts feed your words and your words feed your thoughts. It's called programming. And that's what we've got to get a hang on. We have to interrupt the programs that we have running. I've talked about this on my video called Overcome Fear with Powerful Self-Talk. And in that video, I talked to you, remember, about revoking the permission you give to say bad things to yourself. And every time your mind reapplies, revoke that permission again and again and again. See, right this second, you are making the choice on what you focus on. Right now, you're making the choice on the words that you are saying to yourself. Right now, you're making that choice to procrastinate when it comes down to subscribing to this channel. I had to fit that in somewhere. Right now, you are making that choice on the programming that you are having, and you've got to work hard on that. My mentor, late great Fred Hartize, he had a saying. He said, you cannot work hard enough to overcome a negative thought process. And he was right. You've got to change the negative words that you say to yourself. You have to do this every single day, every single time you find yourself in this situation. You have to change the focus. You have to get a hold of those emotions. Remember, when those emotions go up, intelligence goes down. Don't make important decisions when you are when your emotions are high up there. And then you've got to control what you say to yourself, and you always have to have the last say when it comes to what you're saying to yourself. It doesn't matter how many times something negative comes, you have to have the last say. So look, if you like this kind of video where I share what I have learned through the experiences in my life and how it affects the decisions I make on a day-to-day basis, and more importantly, how it can help you, come on, get on board. You got to subscribe. Let's get on to number 3. Number 3 is to change your actions. So we've got to change our focus, change the words we say to ourselves, and then we've got to change our actions. The problems, the challenges give us an invitation to take action. It's like the hero's journey. I don't know if you've ever read the book The Hero's Journey. I haven't. I've read about the hero's journey, and I saw a nice short video explaining the hero's journey. I'm going to put a link in my description box underneath. If you've ever seen movies like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, The Matrix, they follow what's called a hero's journey, where the hero actually starts off in an ordinary world, and then they take around 12 steps to greatness, and they all follow the theme of the hero's journey. Now, in life, we all get the call. We all get the opportunity to go on that hero's journey, but not everybody answers the call. And when you choose to answer the call, when you choose to complete the journey, and you end up right where you started, but you have so much more to give at that point. You've grown, you've changed. But if you're not striving, if you're not answering that call to action, then what is it that you're becoming? If you're not growing, if you're not striving, what are you becoming? Because, you have to keep on expanding your identity. And that's expanding your comfort zone. And what I've said already is your comfort zone is not a physical place. Your comfort zone is something that is resided within you. So if you're not expanding your comfort zone, then you're not expanding you. Staying in your comfort zone, it strips you of passion. Seriously, imagine getting up every day and just doing the same old, like the movie Groundhog Day. What would life be like? Progress makes you happy. Just look at a little baby. Small babies, when they are striving for something, they might be trying to climb up onto something. They might be trying to reach for something. And when they achieve it, do you see the big smile on their face? They're so content. But just like a baby, they don't stay content for long. There's another adventure. There's another call to adventure. And they answer that call again and again and again. We got to be more childlike in our spirit. We've got to be like those babies. Answer the call. Go on the adventure and learn, change, and grow. Most people are living the life that they're living because of their beliefs. Our beliefs are just things that we've told ourselves again and again, over and over again. It's a compounding mindset. You see, if you say that you can't do something, you're absolutely right. And if you say you can do something, you're absolutely right. Whichever one you choose, let me ask you something. Why did you choose that one? You said it because you believed it. And why did you believe it? Because you said it. Could you see how it compounds? You say you want to be more. You say you want to do more. You say you want to have more. That's why you're here with me on this channel. You say you want to turn those ideas and those skills into money. Then let's get busy. You've got 3 things that you need to do, and you need to do them over and over again until they compound. You've got to change your focus, change your self-talk, and change your actions. So if you're ready to be more, to do more, and to have more, and you want to get on that road to turning those ideas and those skills into money, you've got to download my Essential Business Startup Checklist. It's free, and it will give you a clear picture as to where you are on your business journey right now, and it will tell you exactly what you need to do next. I'll swap you your email address for it. All that's left for me to say is to go out there and keep on being amazing, because you are. Speak soon. Feeling good? Want more results like this? Let's keep that momentum going with this video here. Also, click on my head here to subscribe.